They say there exists a secret within the celestial tapestry, a secret so profound and awe-inspiring that even the angelic choirs whisper about it in hushed tones of reverence and perhaps a touch of fear. Imagine the grand court of the Almighty, a realm where billions of angels bow in perpetual adoration, where fiery seraphim tremble at the mere sound of his voice, and where the very fabric of existence vibrates with his power. In this realm of unimaginable majesty where humility reigns supreme, there is one who does not bow. While Michael, the valiant warrior of heaven, kneels in supplication, while Gabriel, the divine messenger of God, lowers his face in profound respect, a single figure sits enthroned beside God himself. Who is this enigmatic being so intimately close to the eternal source of creation that even the angels struggle to comprehend his exalted position? Who is this mysterious figure so radiant and powerful that some have mistakenly identified him as God's very presence, made manifest his name whispered with a mixture of wonder and trepidation, is Metatron? Whispers ripple through the celestial spheres, speculating about Metatron's origin. Some claim he was never created as an angel in the traditional sense. Others suggest a far more extraordinary tale, that he was once a man, mortal flesh and blood, like you and I, taken into the heavenly realms and transformed into something so radiantly divine, so breathtakingly powerful, that he now holds a position second only to the Almighty himself. But if this astounding story is true, what profound implications does it hold for us, the inhabitants of the mortal realm? What does it signify that a human being now sits closer to God than all the angels, those celestial beings created specifically for divine service? And most importantly, what does it reveal about the boundless potential within each of us? Here lies the core question that demands your unwavering attention. If this extraordinary narrative holds the weight of truth, then what precisely is Metatron's crucial role in the unfolding destiny of humanity? Why is he so often referred to as the Prince of the Divine Presence, a title that speaks of unparalleled intimacy with the Creator? Why is he uniquely identified as the holder of the celestial pen, the instrument with which the fate of nations is meticulously inscribed within the sacred book of life? Prepare yourself, for the story you are about to encounter transcends the simple telling of an angel's tale. It is a story that unlocks a hidden secret, a secret woven into the very fabric of reality, stretching from the first nascent pages of Genesis, where the foundations of creation were laid, to the deepest, most enigmatic mysteries of heaven itself. Mysteries that have captivated mystics and theologians for millennia. This is the comprehensive story of Metatron, the celestial being who occupies the position of closest confidant to God, a being whose existence challenges our understanding of the divine hierarchy and the potential inherent within humanity. But before we delve into the heart of this ancient and profound mystery, be sure to engage with this narrative. Show your appreciation. Subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell, so you never miss an enlightening exploration of Bible mysteries. Join us as we unravel the secrets that have remained hidden for ages, waiting to be discovered by those who seek a deeper understanding of the divine. Throughout the annals of history, you and I have encountered countless names of angels, each resonating with distinct power and purpose. Michael, the unwavering warrior; Gabriel, the eloquent messenger; Raphael, the compassionate healer. These names echo with clarity their divine roles firmly established within the celestial order. But then there is a name that stands apart, a name that sounds distinctly different, almost alien in its unfamiliar cadence: Metatron. And here lies the first layer of the mystery. Metatron is not a name commonly uttered by Christians when referencing the sacred texts. In fact, you will not find his name explicitly inscribed within the 66 books of Scripture that comprise the traditional Christian Bible. Instead, he dwells within the periphery, mentioned in hushed whispers within Jewish mystical writings, within apocalyptic visions that dare to glimpse beyond the veil of the ordinary, and within the ancient rabbinic traditions that ventured to articulate the sacred mysteries deemed too profound for conventional faith. And yet, despite his absence from mainstream scripture, Metatron's enigmatic shadow stretches across the entirety of the biblical narrative like the ethereal smoke emanating from a fire that remains just beyond the realm of immediate perception. Now, why does his name sound so strikingly foreign, so unlike the familiar cadence of biblical figures? Unlike the Hebrew resonance of Gabriel or Michael, Metatron's name lacks any immediately discernible Semitic origin. Scholars have engaged in spirited debates regarding the etymological roots of the name, tracing its potential origins to various linguistic sources. Some hypothesize that it is derived from the Greek word Metatronos, which can be interpreted as the one beside the throne. This interpretation, if accurate, carries profound implications, for it suggests that Metatron's very designation proclaims his unique and unparalleled position, the one who sits in closest proximity to the throne of God himself. Pause for a moment and allow the weight of this concept to fully resonate within your understanding. In the celestial court of heaven, where the most magnificent beings in existence stand in perpetual awe, this singular figure sits sharing a proximity to the divine that is unmatched by any other created being. But who is he truly? Here is where the narrative takes an unexpected and fascinating turn, venturing into the realm of the extraordinary. According to ancient Jewish texts such as the Book of Enoch and the mystical writings known collectively as 3 Enoch, Metatron was not created in the same manner as the other angels. He was at one point in his existence a man possessing the same inherent potential and vulnerabilities as you, a man sharing the same mortal condition as I. His earthly name was Enoch. The Bible, in the succinct yet enigmatic passage of Genesis 5:24, states simply, "Enoch walked with God. Then he was no more because God took him." That is all. A single mysterious line devoid of explicit explanation or revealing details, simply stating that he was gone, taken by the divine hand. And for centuries, countless individuals have pondered the same enduring questions. Where did Enoch go? What did God ultimately do with him? Now prepare yourself for the breathtaking answer offered by the mystical tradition. God did not merely terminate Enoch's mortal existence. He did not simply bring an end to his earthly life. Rather, he took Enoch into the celestial realm of heaven and subjected him to a profound and transformative process. Enoch became Metatron, the prince of the divine presence, the chancellor of heaven, the celestial scribe who meticulously records the unfolding drama of existence within the book of life. Consider the immense implications of this revelation for a moment. Every angel within the heavenly host was created in their current form, their essence and purpose preordained from the moment of their genesis. Michael was created as a warrior imbued with strength and courage. Gabriel was created as a messenger gifted with eloquence and grace. But Metatron began as mere dust, fragile flesh, a mortal human being subject to the limitations of earthly existence. And yet he now occupies a position closer to God than any of the angels, a testament to the transformative power of divine grace. This revelation should compel you to pause and reflect upon the significance of this extraordinary elevation. Why would God choose a man inherently fragile, prone to imperfections, and ultimately mortal to exalt above even his most magnificent angels? What does this singular act reveal about God's profound and enduring view of humanity, about the boundless potential that lies dormant within each of us? And here is where the narrative deepens, becoming even more intricate and compelling. Within the mystical writings, Metatron is depicted as being clothed in a light that surpasses even the brilliance of the sun, a radiance that emanates from his very being. His celestial form is said to be adorned with the 70 names of God, each meticulously inscribed into the very essence of his being, reflecting the multifaceted nature of the divine. His size is described as being so immense that it encompasses the entire universe, stretching from the depths of the earth to the farthest reaches of heaven, a testament to his cosmic significance. His celestial throne is said to be positioned directly beside God's own, a symbol of his unparalleled authority and intimacy with the divine. And when God issues commands that reverberate throughout creation, Metatron is the one who meticulously records them and faithfully carries them out, acting as the divine executor of God's will. Do you perceive the stark contrast between Metatron and every other angel within the celestial hierarchy? Metatron is not merely an observer or a messenger. He is an active participant in the unfolding drama of creation. Metatron writes destiny. He meticulously records your actions, your thoughts, and your intentions. He witnesses your prayers, both spoken and unspoken, and carries them before the throne of grace. He is within the rich tapestry of Jewish tradition, the celestial scribe of heaven, diligently writing within the book of life and the book of death, standing as the unwavering heavenly witness to every choice that mankind makes, both great and small. Now let us pause here and confront a challenging question. Why would an omniscient and all-powerful God require a scribe? Surely the Almighty possesses a perfect memory, encompassing all of creation within his divine awareness. Surely he does not require notes or reminders to maintain the celestial order. But here lies a profound truth. Metatron's crucial role is not primarily for God's sake, it is fundamentally for ours. You see, the very presence of a divine witness serves as a constant reminder that nothing in our lives remains hidden from the discerning gaze of the Almighty. The mere existence of an angel whose sole and unwavering duty is to meticulously record, faithfully testify, and diligently preserve every action we undertake signifies that our lives possess a significance far exceeding our limited comprehension. Every word we utter, every action we perform, every thought we harbor echoes into the vast expanse of eternity, leaving an indelible mark upon the fabric of creation. And that realization gives rise to a chilling yet profoundly empowering question. If Metatron is currently recording your story, meticulously documenting the unfolding narrative of your life, what precisely would be written on your page today? Now let us journey back into the celestial throne room for a moment, allowing our imaginations to fully embrace the grandeur and awe of that sacred space. Imagine it once more. The fiery court of heaven, teeming with countless angels, a multitude as vast as the stars that adorn the night sky. And at the very center of this divine realm, God's throne stands radiating an uncreated light, a brilliance that surpasses all earthly comprehension. All the angels in their magnificent array stand in rapturous awe, trembling in the face of his overwhelming presence. But there directly beside him sits a single figure, a being so radiant and luminous that other angels mistakenly identify him as the Almighty himself, a being who once walked the earth as we do, experiencing the same joys and sorrows, the same triumphs and tribulations, a being who has now been transformed into the closest servant of God in all of heaven. And here is another profound concept to consider. The ancient rabbis, possessing deep wisdom and understanding of the celestial order, cautioned people against directing their prayers toward Metatron. Why would they issue such a warning? Because some individuals, overwhelmed by Metatron's radiant glory and his proximity to the divine, began to conflate him with God himself, blurring the crucial distinction between creation and creator. In fact, one particularly insightful Talmudic story recounts an incident involving a rabbi named Elisha ben Abuya, who experienced a mystical vision in which he saw Metatron seated in heaven. Overcome with confusion and a lack of understanding, he exclaimed, "There must be two powers in heaven, unable to comprehend why any being other than God would be seated upon a throne. But no, Metatron is emphatically not God. He is not to be worshipped, revered, or deified in any way. He remains fundamentally a servant, just like the rest of creation, dedicated to fulfilling the divine will. Yet his very existence serves as a breathtaking reminder of something profoundly significant, that one day humanity, fully redeemed and gloriously transformed, will be elevated to a position higher than that of the angels themselves. Metatron serves as a foreshadowing, a powerful symbol, a vivid picture of what becomes possible when mankind walks so intimately with God that he is ultimately transformed by his divine presence. Let us journey back in time, venturing far beyond the familiar narratives of Scripture. Long before the devastating flood, before the righteous Noah, before the patriarch Abraham, there lived a man named Enoch. The Bible offers only a brief glimpse into his life, a fleeting mention that barely scratches the surface of his extraordinary journey. In fact, within the sprawling genealogy of Adam's descendants in Genesis 5, Enoch's story appears almost as a whisper easily overlooked amidst the extensive lineage. But do not allow yourself to miss the profound significance of this seemingly insignificant detail, for it is often the shortest and most concise lines of Scripture that conceal the greatest and most transformative mysteries. What does it truly mean that God took him? Where did Enoch ultimately go? What did he experience during his time in the presence of the divine? Let us attempt to visualize this remarkable man. Enoch. Day after day, year after year, he walked with God, maintaining a constant and unwavering connection with the divine source of all creation. Think about how truly radical that level of commitment is. It was not merely a matter of offering prayers once in a while or simply possessing intellectual knowledge about God. It was a way of life, a state of constant communion with Him, engaging in open and honest communication, listening attentively to His guidance, surrendering completely to His will, and obeying His commands without reservation. Enoch's life was not characterized by worldly power, vast kingdoms, or triumphant battles. Instead, it was defined by an unparalleled closeness to God, a relationship of intimacy and devotion that transcended the ordinary. And that profound closeness ultimately led to something unprecedented in human history, an event that defied the natural order of existence. God did not allow him to experience physical death, the common fate of mankind. Instead, the ancient Jewish tradition recounts that Enoch was taken alive into the heavenly realms, bypassing the normal transition from mortal life to the afterlife. And here is where the story ascends to an even more breathtaking level of revelation. According to the mystical text known as 3 Enoch, the moment Enoch was lifted into heaven, he was not received as an ordinary mortal, a mere human being entering the divine realm. No. He was escorted through the celestial halls by a legion of mighty angels, each possessing unparalleled power and authority, traversing through layer upon layer of unimaginable glory, each more magnificent than the last. Picture it in your mind's eye. The first heaven, where the stars sing in harmonious chorus, and the angels keep diligent watch over the movements of the cosmos, ensuring the balance of the universe. The second heaven, where the angelic hosts stand guard over mysteries that remain hidden from the comprehension of mankind, protecting the divine secrets from being prematurely revealed. The third, the fourth, the fifth, all the way up to the seventh heaven, the very throne room of God, the epicenter of divine power and authority. Each realm more radiant, more awe-inspiring, more terrifying, and more overwhelmingly magnificent than the last, challenging the very limits of human perception. Angels with eyes like fiery flames, creatures with wings that stretch wider than vast oceans, songs that possess the power to shake the very foundations of creation itself. And through all of this breathtaking splendor, Enoch is led still mortal, still possessing flesh and blood, yet somehow shielded from the overwhelming power of the divine. What must he have felt as he stood humbled, yet honored before the throne of the Almighty, the source of all existence? Here is where the story becomes almost too profound to fully comprehend, venturing into the realm of the unimaginable. In 3 Enoch, God commands the archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, the most powerful and revered beings in the celestial hierarchy, to take Enoch and subject him to a profound and transformative process. His mortal body, still bound by the limitations of earthly existence, could not possibly withstand the unfiltered glory of heaven, the overwhelming presence of the divine. So in accordance with God's will, they clothed him in garments of divine light, a radiant covering that emanated from the very essence of creation. They stripped away his earthly flesh, replacing it with a body of pure flame, a celestial form that could withstand the intensity of the divine presence. They placed upon his head a crown adorned with thousands of eyes, each representing the omniscient gaze of God, signifying his newfound wisdom and understanding. And then God himself spoke over him, bestowing upon him a new identity and a new purpose. I have taken you from among mankind and made you the prince of my presence, the scribe of heaven. Enoch was given a new name, a name that would forever resonate throughout the celestial realms, Metatron. Can you even begin to fathom the magnitude of this transformation? From the humble dust of the earth to blazing celestial glory, from a fragile mortal man to a cosmic guardian of unimaginable power, from the earthly Enoch to the divine angel who sits in closest proximity to God himself. And if that is not enough to shake you to your very core, consider this: Jewish mystics describe Metatron as being so vast in size that his celestial form fills the entirety of the universe, encompassing all of creation within his being. His voice echoes like thunder, resonating throughout the cosmos with unparalleled power. His light shines so brightly that other angels mistakenly identify him as God himself, unable to distinguish between the reflection and the source. They call him the Lesser YHWH, a reflection, a shadow of the Almighty, bearing the divine attributes yet remaining distinct from the divine essence. But remember this crucial distinction: he is not God. He is not to be worshipped or deified in any way. He is the servant who has been exalted to the highest position because he once walked with God on earth, demonstrating unwavering faith and devotion. Now, what was the first task assigned to Metatron after his profound and transformative ascension? God placed in his hand a pen of fire and a scroll of pure light, charging him with the sacred duty to record, to write, to bear witness to the unfolding drama of creation. Metatron became the scribe of heaven, meticulously writing down the deeds of men, the secrets of nations, the eternal words spoken by God himself, every action undertaken by mankind, every prayer whispered in the darkness of the night, every choice made within the depths of the human heart. Metatron diligently records it all, writing it into the book of life and the book of death, ensuring that nothing is ever forgotten or overlooked. This is not merely about God needing reminders. This is about divine order, about accountability, about the profound reality that your life and mine are not accidents, not wasted moments, but rather meticulously crafted chapters being written into an eternal and unfolding story. And here is the enduring question that should haunt us and challenge us to live more intentionally. What is Metatron writing about you right now? But perhaps the most staggering aspect of Metatron's transformative journey is this. So there you have it, a glimpse into the captivating story of Metatron, the celestial being who was once a man, a story that whispers of divine potential within us all. We've journeyed from the humblest beginnings of Enoch walking with God to the breathtaking heights of Metatron sitting beside the throne. It's a powerful reminder that the divine sees beyond our limitations and cherishes the potential for transformation within each of us. Remember, your life is a story being written in eternity. We've only just scratched the surface of this incredible mystery, and there's so much more to explore in Part 2. What specific duties does Metatron perform? What further secrets does his story reveal about the relationship between humanity and the divine? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave your comments, questions, and insights below. Let's continue this fascinating discussion together. And of course, if you enjoyed this exploration of Bible mysteries, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss Part 2 of the Metatron story, as well as all of our future videos diving deep into the hidden corners of Scripture. We'll continue to unravel these ancient enigmas together. Thanks for watching.